When the Bear Whisperer left off last week, Blaine was sitting on a bait he set up watching a small bear. The bear looked down the path leading into the bait site and ran off. Will the big bear Blaine's been waiting for show up during legal shooting time? Then Blaine heads out for a little population control in a junkyard that has been taken over by bears when things get crazy and a bear tries to climb into a tractor trailer with Blaine and a 15-year-old girl. Can she keep her cool? Find out this week on The Bear Whisperer. Blaine notices how this bear is looking back down the main path that leads to the site. He knows if this bear takes off running, the big boy is on his way in.
Unfortunately, in the real world, it's the last 5 minutes you're going to see those monster bears. 350, 400 pounds, Ontario. This is what we're waiting for all night. If we're going to shoot big bears, this is when we're going to shoot them. This is real television. We show it to you the way it is. And the way it is if you're going to shoot monster bears, most of the time it's going to be this time of night. Unless you're at a place that just has a stupid amount of bears. But this is Ontario. This isn't way, way, way out west. And that dude right there was a giant. He got me jacked. He pointed the screen down. I could see everything. I know it's grainy, but you're going to see a daylight picture of this bear. And he is a giant. All right, well, everything did its job tonight. We sat there and actually had a small conversation whether to shoot this bear because of camera light. We know that it wasn't the best camera light you could possibly have, but again, when you shoot big bears in the real world, that's when you're gonna shoot them. Absolutely stroked him. We heard him stop. It sounds like 75 yards back into the woods and sounded like he crashed. Didn't hear a death moan. So we are gonna come back tonight and take a really good look for him. I'd really like to get him before he rigs up, but we're gonna go back to the camp. By the time we get there, it'll be an hour gone by. We'll we'll get some really good flashlights, and we'll come back and look for them. This is just way too awesome. Just a great night. Just a great night of bear hunting, as you saw us. You ready, Jay? I'm gonna ask for a better bear over bait storyline than that. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course. I told you.
We got work tonight.
Yeah, well, we're gonna go back. We're even gonna tell the other guys. Get one? You see a black one?
Yep.
Did you shoot a black one?
Yep. I shot a little black one.
Watch the black one?
We watched the black one that seems to have a never-ending desire to eat.
So did we.
Ate and ate.
Dude,
laid down.
I'm up in the stand and I'm going, hey, bear, like seriously, save some for the big bear.
Right.
And he'd look at me and go, nah, and start eating again. I'm like, God.
We also had a point where the bear got so full he had to lay down and eat. He was going to throw up. And then he burped and farted, got back up, and ate again. All on film. We're like, there's no way.
When we get back, we'll see if Blaine finds this monster bear, and then we'll start one of the craziest bear hunts ever caught on film.
Hey.
Oh, oh. Yeah, he's bigger than I thought. Oh, God. Yep. He is a giant. I'm not gonna say folks, you know what I'm saying? You see how far this bear run. And he is, no ground shrinkage. I literally have, I don't know if you can see how big this bear is, but he's a beast. And hopefully the kids are with us, because we got kids, 20-year-old guys, because this is not going to be a friendly bear to pull out. I don't have to flip him over. Look at that short snout. All right, now I know that is probably one of the worst footage bear hunts, quality-wise, you may have ever watched, but I was really determined to show you what you can expect in the field, what reality is when you're hunting over bait. Watching all of these TV shows in the broad daylight, sun shining and bear coming in, you can absolutely do it. But when you've paid an outfitter and you got to show up and you only have 1 week to hunt, chances are, I am telling you, if it's a big bear, a big 300, 400, 500 pound bear, and that bear comes in with 5 minutes of legal shooting light left, you need to harvest that bear. And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly the way you can expect to harvest a bear, exactly the way you can expect to see it. And as you can see, when you harvest bears, when you go out bear hunting, and especially if you're hunting over bait to human-wise bears, bringing those luminox, absolutely a must. As you can see, I knew exactly where I hit that bear. I knew it was a perfect shot. I knew where my arrow was. There was no looking. I mean, it glowed like sun flying through the sky. Hey, I want to know who has an Earnhardt drag their bear. But that bear was an absolute giant. That bear was a beast. And that's exactly the way when you're in the field and you're hunting Ontario, New Brunswick, Quebec, you need to, especially in the East, and those are all Eastern type places, especially in the East, that's exactly the way 90% of you are going to harvest a bear that weighs over 300 pounds. That last 5 minutes, I think that was last 10 minutes. Cameras actually can't see as good as we can see, but maybe that last 10 minutes of daylight, that's the way you're going to harvest a bear. So that concludes our bear hunt over the bait. As Paul Harvey would say, now let me tell you the rest of the story. So we're all done. I harvested my bear on night 1. I'm all done. I'm a horrible cameraman, so I'm not interested in going running camera. Jason wants to go run camera. But here's the thing, the guide comes up and says, hey, would you mind taking my 15-year-old daughter out on a hunt, her first bow hunt ever, take her out, and she'd be honored to go hunting with you. Why anybody would want to do that, I don't know. But she would be honored to go hunting with you. So I'm like,
Absolutely. I mean, a bow hunter, a girl, 15 years old, doesn't get any cooler than that. So as the day progresses, I'm kind of tired. I'm thinking we need to separate. And I tell my cameraman, you go with Marty, that's her name, and I will go with Darren, who's my sponsor. So Jason says, no problem. Then Dave comes in and says, oh, by the way, we're not hunting any of our baits. There's a junkyard that bears have come in and invaded. They actually put police tape up to keep the people out because there's so many bears there. What had happened was an 18-wheeler trailer had flipped on its side and it was full of cake frosting. Full of cake frosting. Flipped on its side, totaled the truck, totaled the trailer. Well, they come, they tow it. They don't have any idea what's in it. All they said was, we don't want anything that's in it, so just tow the whole thing, bring it to the junkyard, scrap metal, whatever. So they tow this thing over to this junkyard, and it is absolutely chock full with frosting. Well, it does not take long before the Ontario Bears find this trailer. And when the door opens up, when the door gets torn off, when the buckets start flying, and the licorice starts coming out, and the cake frosting starts coming out, and it's spread all over the place, I swear it attracted every bear from Manitoba to Quebec right into this one area. There was so much bear sign, it was unbelievable. And the bears were literally terrorizing this junkyard. Nobody could go in it. The junkyard was closed for business, and there was one bear in particular. I guess it was this great big bear. Dave says he shows up early, and he tries to keep all the other bears from coming to the cake frosting. And if we could go there and try to harvest a bear, particularly this bear. So I'm like, awesome. And Jason's like, I'm not no bear whisperer. I am not going into a bear infested junkyard and sitting there and waiting for bears to show up in an unfamiliar environment with a 15-year-old girl with a bow. No, I'm not gonna do it. Which I can't force him to do it, but I do convince him, what if I go with you? And I don't know why that was reassuring to Jason, but it was, and he says, okay, I'm in. You go, Marty goes, the 15-year-old girl with a bow, and now Jason's gonna go with the camera.
When we return, you'll witness the start of the bear hunt that both viewers and the media have been talking about for over a year.
We are, believe it or not, we're with Martina, just joking. We're with Marty, and we are going to hunt bears in a junkyard, which I guess is just tearing this place up. And yeah, we're here, and just tearing this place up big time. They had brought in a tractor trailer full of goodies in it that had burnt, and the bears are coming in here and tearing this junkyard up. So we're going to do a little bear control here in Ontario with Marty as our stone cold killer. So we're off to get us a bear.
So we show up, we see the trailer. It is absolutely exactly what Dave said. It was a trailer full of frosting, 5-gallon pails of frosting, and it is all over the place. There is no doubt that bears are tearing this thing up. Not a soul to be found. There's yellow police tape up. They don't want anybody in this junkyard because someone's gonna die from a bear attack because they're getting aggressive over this frosting. And we find a trailer, an upright 18-wheeler trailer, empty, which is kind of, if you can imagine, the trailer with the frosting is here, and the 18-wheeler trailer is kind of off to the side here. So we can see the bears come down, get in the trailer, and hopefully get a shot at one over here. So we climb up in this trailer, and the top of this trailer, please keep in mind, if you can't see on the video, is tall. I think we measured it out at 5 feet 3 inches tall to the bottom, to the floor. It was 5 feet 3 inches tall up. So, and it was all jacked up and sideways and had trailers, but anyway, it actually wasn't even that easy of a, you had to almost crawl into it. It was so far off the ground. So I'm like, we're totally safe. Let's just get in the back of this tractor trailer and we will wait for bears to come. So how we got this whole thing set up, we walk down, there's bear scat everywhere, bear tracks everywhere. I'm actually jacked up. We're gonna get something that I have never seen on TV, I've never even heard of on film, if we can just get a bear to come in. So we get there, we all crawl in the trailer. This is the plan. Marty is gonna stand probably 15 feet from the trailer's edge. My cameraman's gonna be behind Marty. I am gonna sit at the door of the trailer and look left and right, and I'll hopefully see a bear before he sees us. I'll stand up, I'll go behind Jason with the camera that I'm holding, and we will film Marty shoot a bear. Now what we did was we put bait on the ground probably 10 yards in front of the trailer, so hopefully the bear will come up, eventually come to the bait. Marty comes to full draw, shoots out of the trailer, plan on it being the most awesome hunt of all time. Well, things don't go exactly as I planned.
Well, that's the understatement of the year, Blaine. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss this.
Now what we did was we put bait on the ground probably 10 yards in front of the trailer, so hopefully the bear will come up, eventually come to the bait. Marty comes to full draw, shoots out of the trailer, plan on it being the most awesome hunt of all time. Well, things don't go exactly as I planned. What happens is this bear comes in, I can see it coming, and I'm getting all ready. I'm gonna go stand behind Jason. You know, everything's totally safe. And I see the bear coming in, I'm peeking around, it's coming, but it's not heading really towards the frosting, it's heading towards our trailer. And I'm going, what the heck? I mean, I just totally don't understand, you know, why isn't it going right for the trailer? I can tell this is a bigger than 400-pound bear coming, an absolute giant, and it's not coming for the trailer. So my mind starts going a mile a minute. You know, why isn't this bear, why is it heading for our trailer and not for the, the frosting trailer? So I'm a little paranoid to just leave and go back behind Marty. I do have a 15-year-old girl with me. I have to protect her. I got to protect my cameraman. He's the only guy I can find that works for free. And, so I'm trying to so I'm sitting there and I said, you know what, I'm gonna wait a minute. So I just back up and kind of hide behind the door, peeking out every now and again, and he's still coming right for our trailer. So as he's coming up, I can hear him off to my right-hand side. I'm freaking out a little bit because he's actually blowing. He's snapping his jaws, growling a little bit, and I'm like going, there's another bear. I'm not paying attention. So now I got it. Now there's two bears. There's got to be one on this side of the trailer working its way in. I got this big boy working its way in, and he's got to be just ticked off at the bear that's coming in on the other side, or saw a bear cross. Something's going on. So I decide to wait. I back up a little bit more. I've decided, you know what, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer because he's coming. I can actually see his shadow coming, and I'm looking down the trailer like this, and here he comes. He walks underneath 5 feet. I know Marty can't even see the bear. 5 feet from the trailer's edge, he walks right by me, snapping, blowing, growling, just ticked off. I'm looking for this other bear that he's mad at. He walks out probably 10 feet. He turns around, he starts coming back, and he is looking me right in the eyes. At that point, I realize without a shadow of a doubt, he's not barking and snapping and blowing at another bear. He's blowing at us. He knows we're in there. I don't know if he watched us get in there. I don't know at what point I got busted, which is the most likely thing that happened. But the fact that he was still coming, the fact that he was still mad that we were near his frosting, definitely got me nervous. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do at this point. I'm gonna be quiet, I'm gonna stand by the door, and I'm literally gonna let this giant bear walk off. Just for safety reasons, I don't want this bear freaking out anybody. But sure enough, this bear comes around and he stops at the trailer. He's looking up at me and lifts his head up into the trailer.